This is no children's party, but the psychosocial management of displaced children in an informal settlement on the outskirts of Yola, the Adamawa state capital. They are the typical child victims of insurgency, which became intensified across the northeastern states of Nigeria since 2013. In 2014, Oxfam, funded by ECHO, and in collaboration with its local partner, the Civil Society Coalition for Poverty Eradication, CISCOPE, began intervention for displaced victims in states of northeastern Nigeria affected by insurgency attacks.
We commenced support in May 2014 with IDPs from Central Borno in Michika. After the September attack, the support was moved to Yola, where the displaced people moved to.
While many children escape the insurgent attack in the company of one or both of their parents, many become separated and left behind in the pandemonium. Rapid assessment by Oxfam reveals that children and women constitute over 70% of displaced victims. Several children manage to reach safe centres where they are able to receive support. Before his village came under attack, Ramadan lived with his parents in the town of Gwosa and was a pupil in the final years of primary education. Then the insurgents came.
When the insurgents came to my community, we ran for our lives. I ran by myself like every other person. We ran towards Cameroon. From there I came to Mubi. We stayed for a while in Mubi, and from Mubi we entered Yola. Since we all ran in different directions, I got separated from my parents. I hope we all reunite whenever we're allowed back in our village. Everyone ran his own way.
Ramadan is by himself in this settlement for displaced victims. He has no idea of where his parents are or what has happened to them. Teenage girls and young women are especially targeted for abduction by the insurgents. The experiences of such victims are such that they would rather not relive them. Mercy had just turned 16 when she was abducted.
These people came and we started running. My sister had twins. She grabbed one while I took the other, and we ran in separate directions. I couldn't trace my sister until the third day, when we met in a cornfield, and I gave the baby back to her mother. I decided to go back to our house to pick some of my belongings. That's when I was captured. They must have tied me and taken to a house where they kept abducted girls. That was where I woke up. Then they brought some captives in army uniforms. They laid them down in front of us and started slaughtering them. When I saw this, I fell and fainted. They poured water on me and I woke up. Then they brought out a long knife and gave it to me. Now take this knife and slaughter one. I bluntly refused. I lost my father when I was very young, and my mother got married to another man. So I grew up with a stepfather. Now everyone is gone, even my mother.
Ramotu is now 7. She escaped the insurgents with her mother and siblings. The entire ordeal remains fresh in her memory, especially the news that her father had been killed.
The insurgents came to Gwosa where we lived, and we ran to Madagali. We heard that they killed my father. When he heard they had left, we went back to Gwosa, but we went to my uncle's house. Then they came back to Gwosa. This time, we ran away to Machika, but then they came there. We ran back to Madagali. We got very tired. Then they showed up again. We were put in a vehicle that brought us to Yola, and we came to this settlement. I have 4 younger ones. There are 6 of us, including my mother.
Let's also look at the trauma aspect of it. A child witnessing his parents killed, slaughtered, raped, it's stick in their memory.
Babies are not spared the negative impact of insurgency.
We came from Jamila on the border of Cameroon and Chad, where I sold firewood. I sold firewood in thousands. Then they came and chased me away. We left everything and ran away. I slept in front of a big market for 6 days without shelter. I was still pregnant with the twins. They killed my husband at the border. People helped me to the hospital, where I gave birth to the twins. I spent 6 days in the hospital, and I had to go back to living in the market with my newborn babies. I was there when Oxfam people came and asked me to enter a vehicle. We were brought to Yola and then to this camp. The Oxfam people started giving me food. Some people gave me clothes for my babies, and they gave me this shelter. Now I have a bit of food, but there's no money to make soup for the foodstuff I have.
These are children who are still breastfeeding. They are still with their mothers, and most times they are always malnourished, because once the mother cannot breastfeed properly, they are affected. So no one can tell you now exactly how many children have died as a result of this casualty. As we speak, since last year, schools have been closed down in the entire northeast zone of the country. So they don't go to school anymore. This is a major impact, because while other zones in the country are going to school, children are going to school, they are also left behind for more than a year. So they've not been going. Adamawa State, for instance, now schools have been closed down. It has not been open. So this also is a negative impact on the children. So there's going to be a lot of effort, both from the international organizations, NGOs and government alike, to see how these children could be reintegrated back into the society, because what they witnessed is something that one cannot really overemphasize at this moment.